So the fight is finally here, or should I say, the fights are finally here. This, without a doubt, the most packed card we have seen since probably Don King. So it's must-see TV, is worth every penny. I can't wait. I'm gonna go ahead and dive in straight to the main event and the co-main event. For the co-main event, I got Benavidez. I think this is going to be his toughest fight to date, as Alexander presents a certain puzzle that Benavidez is going to have a hard time solving, especially early on. I'm looking forward to see what exactly David Benavidez learned from the Caleb Plant fight, because just like Caleb Plant, Alexander is going to be doing a whole lot of movements. On top of that, he has power, and he's naturally big. This is his weight class. David Benavidez is moving up to 175, and the way he was looking on the scale, Alexander, he looked better at 37 years old today than he did in his prime, which is highly suspicious to me. You can't get a physique like that as you get older better than the physique you had in your prime. That doesn't even make logical sense. So hopefully Alexander is not on the forbidden juice like Ryan Garcia was, especially when you factor in Alexander manager is Canelo Alvarez, trainer Eddie Reynoso, so that could be his plug. Either way, that only makes the fight even more difficult for David Benavidez. He has an uphill battle tonight. The way Alexander looked on the scale made the fight 50-50 to me. I was picking David Benavidez all the way until I saw how Alexander looked. So factor in, this is a difficult fight for David. I won't even be surprised if we see an upset tonight. However, I'm going to still pick David Benavidez to win by either KO or unanimous decision. The keys to victory for Benavidez is to cut off the ring, his jab, to the head and to the body. Alexander doesn't like body shots. There's no secret about that. If David Benavidez takes advantage of that early on to slow down the movement from Alexander, then he can perhaps get to Alexander before the final bell. Fast forward to the main event. My prediction is that I'm picking Gervonta Davis to win by all means necessary. I truly believe Frank Martin is going to try to do his best to outbox Gervonta and make Gervonta come to him so he can catch Gervonta with his brick hand. But I don't think it's that easy to catch Gervonta with something significant. The way I see this fight, there isn't anything Frank Martin does better than Gervonta. Gervonta has the better hand speed. He has more power. He has better reflexes, better defense, better footwork, better experience, or I should say more experience than Frank. So what the heck can Frank do to beat Tank? Even if you want to say Frank is the bigger guy, Tank is big himself, and he was very comfortable at the weigh-in. He even did a backflip. Guess what? That means he made the weight very comfortable, and from what I heard, according to inside sources, after Frank made the weight, he was supposed to go on the scale at 11, but they made him wait 4 hours after making the weight. So that means Frank spent 4 hours being drained at 135, and he has 4 hours less to rehydrate. When you guys saw the weigh-in, that was a real weigh-in. That's why Frank Martin had a hard time standing up. He had to go sit down immediately because he'd been made the weight and they made him wait 4 hours. Now, I don't think that's going to play a significant factor, but I'm just trying to point out Frank Martin being bigger is not going to mean that much. Being bigger by 5 to 10 pounds mean nothing, especially when Gervonta made the weight way easier than Frank did. What's going to matter is the skill set. The question is, does Frank Martin have the skill set to beat Gervonta? Does he have a better skill set than Gervonta? Well, in my opinion, studying Frank and Tank, I don't think so. I think Tank even has the better skill set than Frank. So that's bad news for Frank Martin. Either way, I still believe Frank Martin is going to give Gervonta Davis one of his toughest fights, if not the toughest. All depending if Frank Martin has a tight defense and a great chin to where if he get cracked by Gervonta, he's able to take the punch. If that's the case, then Gervonta is in a very long night tonight. I know Pitbull Cruz had a great chin and a tight defense. That's why he was able to survive Gervonta and give him a tough fight. We shall see if Frank has that same defense or a chin like that. But what I know that Frank has is strength. He's very strong. He's stronger than Pitbull. He's also more skillful. So we shall see if Frank Martin's athletic ability is going to serve him well tonight. I think it will. But the major weakness I see in Frank Martin's game is the way he takes body shots. He don't react too well to body shots from what I have seen in the past. And we all know Gervonta is like the body snatcher. Frank doesn't just have to worry about Tank hurting him to the head. He also have to worry about Tank hurting him to the body. So I'm looking forward to seeing how Tank is going to set Frank up when it comes to that and how Frank is going to react. The way Tank gets his opponents out of there is not simple, it's complicated. The moment he senses his opponents weakening, he turns it up and gets them out of there because he already got them figured out. That's why Tank is a great finisher, because he knows how to set up the knockout as well. Well, you guys have to realize Tank handicaps all of his opponents of their best attributes. So when he turns it up, he already got his opponents figured out. He's not going to turn it up before figuring his opponent out and handicapping them of all of their best weapons. So I want to see how Tank is going to handicap Frank of his jab and his straight left hand. I'll tell you this, you can expect Tank to go to the body. You can expect Tank to use his own jab and use the shoulder roll because he's fighting another southpaw. So I'm looking forward to seeing all of that. The check hook from the southpaw position like Floyd. I think Tank is going to pull all of that tonight. And that's why I can't wait to see the fight. Or I should say all of the fights from the undercards to the main event. With that being said, go ahead and drop your prediction in the comment section below. Subscribe below. And to be continued on the next episode of AKHi TV. Peace out. Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Eid Mubarak wa kulla aam wa antum bakhair.
You've been out 14 months. Have you been practicing that backflip?
Yeah. You want to see?
Hey! Love it. Good luck to you tomorrow night. Everyone, Gervonta.